Hey, I'm Alex Roe. I play Liam Page in Forever My Girl, and it comes out on January 19th. Go and check it out.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we saw the movie last night. We had a ton of fun. You were there. You got to interact with some of the other moviegoers. That was a good time.
Yeah, that was a great time. Everyone seemed to really love it, which was cool. People were laughing, crying, and
Yeah, it was funny because it was so packed that people were actually having to sit in separate seats, and there was people sitting next to us that had to be split up. So one was in the row in front of us, and the girl was right next to me, and they were both crying but trying to share the moment together by like turning and giving each other these really long, sobby glances. It was really fun.
Right, there you go. So you were sharing not just with the people either side of you, but the people in the rows in front.
Absolutely.
That's kind of why that's why you want to go to the movie, you know, to see someone you don't know looking back and crying.
Absolutely. That's the main reason I go to movies.
But what was amazing about it too is like everyone in Houston seems to be so supportive, and like you're doing a Q&A and like I'm looking out in the audience and there's like a woman there going.
We are a very supportive town, okay?
So you just feel like $1 million because the Southern hospitality is like a real.
It does. It's a thing. It's a very, very real thing. Okay, so one of the things that I liked in this movie, you do an awful lot of singing in this film.
Yes.
Is that really you singing?
It's me singing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you know you could sing before this movie?
Not really. I was obsessed with Elvis Presley when I was a kid, and I think I've been like a closeted singer for a little while. I'd like sing in the shower when everyone left the house.
Fantastic.
I'd kind of like go if there was guitar lying around, I might have a play around. But it was the first audition that I went to that I was singing in. Had no real reason to get this part at all. I'm English. I've never sung before, but I think they just saw something in me. They saw some raw talent that they thought that they could mold in some way. And then I just worked really hard with this guy, Brett Boyette, to find my character's sound and stuff. And then this is the result of it.
It's so funny because you never would have. Well, first off, most people I'm sure are not going to realize that you're British, and B, that you've never sung professionally like this before. You sounded great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was very.
That's the aim, you know, as an actor. You just want to fool everyone. And if
And-
they're fooled, then that's great.
Well done.
Yeah.
So, are you thinking maybe in the future of taking on more roles where you can show off your singing skills?
What's cool about being an actor is that like I can kind of jump into this world and like try and figure out what it is to be a country singer, really kind of like train as hard as I can and then leave that aside and then go and do something else, you know? But if like obviously if someone thinks that I'm good and wants to call me up and put me in a really cool movie because they think that I can sing, then I'll do it.
Nice. Well, so I heard that your director actually dragged you to the CMAs to kind of fully immerse you in the country music experience. What was that like for you?
Oh yes, I don't think dragged. I think like I definitely went arm in arm and I was very happy to be going. But it was amazing, yeah, just seeing the way the fans interacted with Luke Bryan and with, I think Dirk Bentley was there, and I think Chris Stapleton, I'm pretty sure, was there. And who else? It was like Little Big Town as well. And to see them interacting with the fans and how like important these people are to, how important the fans are to them and how important they are to the fans was a really good kind of insight into country music and how people staying kind of homegrown and like being true to where they're from and like being real people is important to the fans too. So that was cool. And then to talk to some of them afterwards and to get an idea of what it's like to step off stage after being in front of 50,000 people and the buzz that because the energy that's coming towards you is amazing, and you can just tell why that is really kind of probably quite addictive. And my character is someone who definitely gets swallowed up by fame in some way.
You know, it's funny that you bring that up too, because it was. Okay, so obviously when we all see this movie, in the beginning of the film, you're gonna kind of like look at his character and be like, seriously, dude, I really need you to get it together. Now, were there parts when you're making this film and you're reading the script, and you're like, man, I really wish this guy would hurry up and get his life in order?
Definitely, and then that's what's kind of fun to play, you know, and then you can kind of play into that even more because I think sometimes you're scared to play a character who's like not very likable. But this guy definitely initially is not very likable, but then makes amends for his mistakes in some way, and I think that's a nice character arc to be able to play.
Absolutely. Ladies, remember this face. You'll like it by the end of the film. You'll probably love it by the end of the film.
You'll hate it initially, though.
What is it like for you? Because you've come off of doing movies like The Rings and Fifth Wave, and now you're immersing yourself in this romance. What is that like?
It's really interesting and cool. I like tackling all these different types of movies. But yeah, I read it and it seemed to me to be like a romance movie that is just, it's nice to have a movie that's quite feel good. And I think that there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and I think it's nice to have a chance to just escape and leave a movie theatre feeling kind of entertained and a little bit happy.
Yes.
While there's definitely place in my life for sure for movies that make you kind of feel awful afterwards, every now and then I do like to go and see a movie that makes you feel good.
And this is definitely one of those films. Who doesn't love a happy ending?
Yes. Don't tell him.
I didn't tell anybody. We're gonna cut that part out. You didn't see that. Anyway, so one of the things that I was really intrigued with your character is, of course, he's not the most techno-savvy guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's rocking a phone that has to be from 1998.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, he doesn't know how to use Google. He's used to just having people kind of take care of him and do everything for him.
Yes, he's a full-on man-child.
He is.
And that's that's part of the reason why initially you're just get yourself together. But it's quite romantic, the reason why he's still got his old cell phone. He's got this old beat-up cell phone that he's got a message from his girlfriend from 8 years ago that he hasn't been able to let go of. So that's quite sweet. But he just hasn't really had to pay for anything himself. He's his managers and stuff have dealt with everything for him. So he just kind of clicks his fingers and asks for something and it's there. So when he goes home and people aren't just willing to deal with that, he kind of learns how to just be a human being that can exist in society in some way.
Now I will say the rest of the cast in this movie was so much fun to watch. The little girl in the film, and her name is
Abby Ryder Fortinson.
Abby.
Amazing. She's such a talent, and she's down to improvise, and she's so funny. Way beyond her years. She's a comic genius, and just a genius anyway. To the point where I feel really stupid when I'm around her.
So it's not just acting for her when we see her on screen, and she's putting out these things that are way above her age.
Yeah, in a big way. She was. I went to sushi with her and her mum, and Jess was there too. And she's kind of she was 8 or 9 years old, I think. She was going through the menu and she was picking out some obscure sushi that she was I really like this sushi. This is one that, and I'm just sitting there. I kind of know California roll, and everything else after that is foreign to me. And and I was trying to act as if I knew the sushi that she was talking about.
Totally.
I was that's not really my favorite. I prefer this, and I ended up ordering this weird sea urchin thing that I didn't know whether it was going to try and kill me or if I was going to be able to eat it or not. So that was.
All right.
I was definitely pretending that I was meeting her on her level of intellect, but I was not.
Well, what is the kind of the fan response been so far? I mean, compared to again your other films where you've got the horror buffs or the action buffs. Now you've got the ladies coming out of the woodworks for the romance side. Mm. I mean, I've seen a lot of really good stuff on social media. People just kind of falling all over themselves.
It's amazing. I think people just love these types of movies, and I think. And I kind of understand why, but it's amazing the response that this has got so far, and it's just I think it's the whole feel-good thing that we're talking about, and the romance aspect of it. I think people aren't really ashamed to like that stuff.
Shouldn't be.
It's okay. You shouldn't be. It's definitely part of life and a cool bit of escapism. And, I'm really thrilled at the level of fanship that it's got already. It's cool.
Well, it was a very fun movie to check out, and we hope you guys get the chance to check it out. Forever My Girl, It's going to be hitting theaters January 19th. Please, please, please get out there, go see this movie. Thank you so much, Alex, for talking with us. All right. Oh, our monopod?
Yeah. Can you let go of it and it stays still? No,
It just helps stabilize.
just
Otherwise,
so that you can-
sometimes we're like on a boat. If you don't have the feet, then it's kind of weird. We can. We're on the SS Film Fanatic.
Yeah, I like that.
See, it's nice.